This week's commentary has to do with what's the biggest threats that face us. And a year ago, we would have talked about global economic collapse, or certainly people were talking about the collapse of Pakistan as a nation state. People were worried about a total swine flu epidemic of unprecedented proportions, and none of those things happened. Today, if you were to poll most people in the West, they'd be talking about terrorism. They'd be talking about the December 25th airplane situation and what to do. And that brings everybody to say the flavor of the day is Yemen. Let's deal with Yemen. People are saying let's have military action, let's do different things. Let's just pause for a minute on Yemen and just look at the complexity of what we're talking about. Just start with population. Over 48% of the population of Yemen is under the age of 15. But now look at some real numbers that aren't in the media. In 2000, the population was roughly 20 million. In 2015, the population of Yemen will be 30 million. In 2035, the population will be 45 million. 45 million, that huge population growth, a very young population, and unemployment being a huge problem. But look at the dissect unemployment in Yemen, and what you have is also quite interesting. You have overall officially 35% of all Yemenis are unemployed. But if you look at the statistics of graduates in the last 5 years of high schools in Yemen, you find that rises to 44%. So if the official unemployment is 35, high school graduates have 10% higher, and college graduates with a BA have 54% unemployment. What does that tell you? So people say, well, it's about education, educate them and they'll learn. There's something much more fundamental wrong here. And because of the issue of jobs, because of the issue of unhappiness with the populations, drugs, all kinds of problems, there is a much bigger job here for the international community. The reason why I get into this in some detail is just to begin to look at a lot of the quick responses we're seeing in the news media, op-eds saying, oh, we just have to do this. We've got to go back to a complete groupthink, and we've got to do it with the Saudis, with the neighbors, the other neighbors of Yemen. We need to ask the Muslim world to help stand up more and to do this, which, by the way, in many ways they're preparing to do. I don't know how many of you know about the Organization of the Islamic Conference, Nations, an organization that's actually started to get involved in conflicts between Muslims and Muslims in places like Iraq and more recently in Somalia. This is the kind of hope, the kind of new thinking, the kinds of new partnerships between East and West that we need to do. The traditional solutions to the kinds of problems that face us are just not going to be good enough.